let's do this thing. So, hi folks, I'm Spence, and welcome to my Mass Effect Quick Tips. I'm not really a big name in gaming or what have you, but I am passionate about a few games, and one of them is Mass Effect. With 2021's re-release of Mass Effect's original trilogy, I have been hearing that the tutorials are lacking in how explaining the game works, so this is probably because the game was released in 2007, and the tutorials were kind of lacking. This revamp also assumes that you've played the game before, so it's not really helpful to new players. So, I'm going to give you my layman's tutorial on things that you need to know for the best experience in your Mass Effect gaming for the first time. That made no sense, but it's okay, because we're just going to keep going. So we are going to break down your first experience opening up Mass Effect 1. So you're starting Mass Effect for the first time. Fantastic, and welcome. You're in for a real treat. But before you get started and jump into the game, you have to create the service career of your Shepard. But what does the pre-service history, psychological profile, and class mean? I know it seems a bit overwhelming, but I will quickly guide you through this step so you can make the Shepard that matches your vision. Why does it matter? The writers for this game really wanted you to be invested in... Excuse me, I have an itch. So the writers for this game really wanted you to be invested in this galaxy, and so your pre- and active service backgrounds come up in conversations with NPCs throughout the game. So keep an eye out for those opportunities. So, your pre-service history is, how did your Shepard grow up? So I'm going to go ahead and name my Shepard. My Shepard is going to be named Charlie for reasons. And we're going to see that the data is corrupted, and so we're going to have to rebuild this profile.
Confirm pre-service history.
So your options for your pre-service history are Spacer, Colonist, and Earthborn. Now, if you're a military brat like me, the Spacer background will speak to you. Your parents were both in the Alliance Navy. Remember, this game was released in 2007, long before Space Force was a thing. You grew up on starships and cruisers, going wherever your parents were stationed, and you followed in their footsteps. Earthborn, their backgrounds are pretty rough. You were raised by gangs in the streets of one of our planet's great metropolises, and you escaped that life to enlist at 18. Colonist, you were raised on the planet Mindwar in the Attican Traverse. At 16, slavers raided your colony, slaughtering your family and most of your friends. A passing Alliance vessel rescued you, and you were able to enlist a couple of years later. So we're going to go ahead and choose Colonist, because I don't play that one very often. Now, your psychological profile, this is where you identify a key moment in your military career that has made you famous or infamous with the Alliance brass and maybe beyond. Your options are Soul Survivor, War Hero, and Ruthless. So Soul Survivor, you had one mission that went horribly wrong, and you were trapped in an extreme survival situation on the planet Akuz with a thresher maw. Think the big toothy sandworm creatures from Tremors. You were the only one to survive that day. War Hero. Early in your military career, you found yourself facing overwhelming enemy forces, putting your life on the line to save your squad. You defeated the enemy despite overwhelming odds and got a ton of recognition and awards for your heroism. Ruthless. You get the job done, no matter the cost. You have been called cold, calculating, brutal, and you accept that soldiers will die under your command. And on the planet Torfin, you sent 3/4 of your unit to their death fighting slavers. When the slavers tried to surrender, you showed no mercy and took no prisoners. So we are going to choose Soul Survivor because I can't stand Ruthless. Ruthless does give you Renegade points, and we will talk about that in the next video. War Hero gives you Paragon points. Again, we'll talk about that in the next video. But I'm going with Soul Survivor.
Confirm military specialization.
So, your military specialization is essentially your class, if you're thinking TTRPGs. So what are you good at? Do you like to shoot all the firearms? Do you want to be a sneaky hacker? How about using space magic? It's called Mass Effect Fields, but how are you supposed to know that right now? So let me break down the different classes real quick. Soldier is pretty easy. You shoot things and they fall. You have the potential to become proficient in all the full arsenal of weapons, and you are a tough warrior. You get improved health and can eventually wear up to heavy armor. You are an amazing meat shield who protects your squad with your body and force. And that's what the soldier construct looks like. Next is engineer. You are a tech specialist. You can open any door or crate given time and skill, and hacking is your playground. When fighting, you've got the skills to overload circuits, especially helpful when fighting non-organic enemies, overheat weapons, and disable enemy shields. You're also able to use Medigel packs to heal up your party. You can only wear light armor and have an Omni tool equipped, which helps make your abilities more effective and last longer. Your grenades are much more effective, and your weapon of choice is the pistol. Adept. In this game, there is no magic, but there are those who are able to manipulate Mass Effect fields, which is basically dark energy that certain people are able to manipulate with their mind and body. People with these abilities are called biotics in the game. They use biotic amps and conduct and control the force and reusability of their talents. While you wear light armor, you can make up for your lack of coverage with shielding, using those sweet biotic talents to shove enemies away, drain their shields, and make them vulnerable to additional attacks. Your weapon of choice is also a pistol. Infiltrator. Infiltrator is a mix of combat and tech prowess. You are skilled at disabling targets with your tech abilities and following it up with precision shots from either your pistol or a sniper rifle. Because you understand how tech works, you can work with up to medium armor and help keep your weapons from overheating. You also have the ability to make your grenades much more effective. Sentinel. Using tech and biotic abilities, you are a powerful support class, but don't let the word support fool you. While your abilities can weaken and disable targets, overloading an explosive canister is just as deadly as a gunshot. You also help maintain your squad's health with medicine skills and increasing their shields. Heavy armor would only get in the way, so you stick with light armor. While you are able to use most weapons, pistols are your go-to for this class. Vanguard. You use combat and biotic abilities, and your innate offensive power is a force to be reckoned with. You can soften up enemies with your biotic abilities, and then follow up with a volley of lead to leave the enemy lifeless in your wake. Combat is over in a blink of an eye. Vanguards use light to medium armor, and since they're fighting up close and personal, shotguns and pistols are their favorite weapons. Biotic amps help boost their powers and let them be used more frequently. Alright, so I hope this helps you pick out the right class and background for your Shepard. I love that there are so many options. It gives the game great replayability. For this game through gameplay tutorial, I am going to be creating a Spacer Soul Survivor Vanguard. If you have questions regarding what I've covered in this video, please leave them in the comments. And if you want to get notified when I post another quick tips video, hit the notification button. And next episode, we will go over what I consider to be the best thing about Mass Effect, the story. Thanks for joining me for Spence's Mass Effect Quick Tips, and we will see you next time.
Well, what about Shepard? She grew up in the colonies.
She knows how tough life can be out there. Her parents were killed when slavers attacked Mindwar.
She saw her whole unit die on a cruise. She could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
I got the scars
Is
to
that the
prove it.
kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.